Okay, let's talk about tell the story, the second money-making activity. So here are some bullet points in the foundation for telling your story. So you need to have a 30-second version, a 1-minute version, a 3-minute version, and what would be really helpful is a 10-minute version of your story. The more stories you can share, the more money you'll make. Now, the thing is, you also need to recognize when. Don't tell your 10-minute story when you only got 1 minute. Hello? And also, if you have 10 minutes and you just talk for 1 minute, how weird is that? So pay attention to the situation and make sure to give details or stretch out your story or quickly wrap it up. You got time frames for this stuff. So please be a professional storyteller. Be a professional storyteller. How do professionals tell stories? That's how you're going to do it. So, your background. Let's say you were an accountant. So, let's say I moved to this country. I went to school. I learned accounting. I got a job, and I'm stuck in the rat race, doing the same thing over and over, but I'm just getting older. And I'm not becoming a rock star. I'm not traveling the world. Things aren't going my way. Dang it. What didn't you like about it? Well, I'm not a rock star. I thought I was going to be a rock star. What don't you like about it? I don't like the taxes that I have to pay on my W-2 job. I'm getting taxed too much. What you didn't like about it? Oh, I hated traffic. I could technically do my job from home, but they were still making me drive in every day. What didn't you like about it? I didn't like the pay. There's a lack of respect going on. Just felt trapped. There we go. Okay, then you found a solution. What does that solution look like? So you might phrase it, well, I found a solution. I found a community. Or you might find a solution in that you found a structure. You might have found a way to pay less in taxes. You found a way to work from home. Seriously, this is such an opportunity right now. If I still had those crappy jobs at Jiffy Lube, the movie theater, the restaurants, Sears Tire Center, whatever, man, it would not be fun going out in the world. Not just because they don't treat you well, they don't pay you well, you get stuck in traffic, all that stuff. But then also just because I get to stay home, right? I can actually focus more on my work instead of having to stop my work on the computer to then go meet someone, to then stop my work with meeting someone to come back and work on the computer. I just meet everybody on the computer and I'll get more done in 12 hours than what used to take me 2 days to get done. So I get to work from home now. Found a way to work from home. If you got kids, you can say I found a way to pay my kids and teach them money responsibilities. How cool is that? Then step 4 is how you feel about your future. How do you feel about your future? The future is bright. You're going to need some sunglasses because your future is so bright. How do you feel about your future? I see a way out. I'll see a change. So I'm gonna focus more on the change. How do you feel about your future? Optimistic, confident. I know it's gonna work out for me now. I've seen enough people who use this business model, this Renatus business model, to change their life. So I'm feeling really confident right now. I'm feeling connected. I get a sense of community here. I'm feeling much more aware of my choices because now that I get what credit cards do, retirement accounts do, and HSAs do, and business credit does, now that I get all this stuff, I'm way more aware. Maybe I'm more hopeful, maybe because you know that in the next 5 to 10 years, everything's going to be different for you. You were forced, could you imagine this 10 years from now? It's 2030 and you're telling people your story and you're like, yeah, man, I was working at these 2 restaurants and I had been goofing around with this real estate business, but I wasn't putting any serious time into it. And then all of a sudden, the restaurant I worked at got shut down. And I had to take it seriously. And thank goodness I did, because the last 10 years have been incredible. Once I took control of my life and took control of my thoughts and my emotions and my time and really focused on this online business that Renatus gave me, man, everything has changed. I've been here, I've been there, I've been able to accomplish this and that. My family's grown, my retirement accounts have grown, this and that. I want you to imagine 10 years from now of you telling your story, especially about the first quarter of 2020. What's that like? We're all going to laugh about this stuff in a couple months, if not years. We're all going to laugh. I pointed that out to Vanessa yesterday. We're doing some grocery shopping. It's like, man, we're all going to laugh about this. And she goes, I'm laughing right now. So that reminded me, we got options. You can laugh right now. So how do you feel about your future? And then step 5 is find people to practice on. Practice, practice, practice. We did our EMT training a couple weeks ago. We did the graduation test. We did our final. And it was evident that not very many people practiced. And so what was going to take like 2 hours to quiz everybody ended up taking like 4 hours. And it was because a lack of practice. So take this seriously. You know, every major accomplishment happened because of an obsession with practice. Get obsessed with practicing the 4 money-making activities, and one of them is telling the story. So there's, like I said, the different minutes of the versions. Like if you're going to a networking event and they give you 30 seconds, you better squeeze it in quick. But if you're doing a 3-way call, let's say I called you and I said, hey, I got my buddy George on the line, and you guys are kind of similar. George used to be a control purchaser for this company, but now they cut his hours. And he's looking for something new. And I thought of you. I know you're an accountant. I know that you hated your job for a while. But anyway, will you tell George your story? And in a situation like that, the 3-minute version is most ideal. So I was already talking to George. I said, oh, you know what, George, you remind me of this guy or this gal. Let's give him a call. Give him a call, you share your 3-minute story, and then you can hang up. That's all we need, was just another story. Just another story. More proof. It's another way of saying it. So take this step seriously. When we're talking about our master equation for making money out of thin air, this is what I'm going to say for now. It starts like this. Start to see the people. So you got to get somewhere where you can see the people. And then you open up the conversation. You use an opener. It's usually just a 1-line question. right? Do you see yourself getting started here? Do you see yourself, do you see yourself working here for the next 5 to 10 years, or are you open to something? Have you ever considered getting involved in real estate? Keep your options open when it comes to multiple streams of income. Have you ever wanted to start a business in real estate? Whatever, a one-line question. Then you have your ABC. And your ABC is what's known as your audio business card. You got to learn how to tell your story in a business form, a format. So you would say, I serve overworked and stressed out employees to create an online business so they can make more money from home doing what they love and still making an impact in the world using real estate investing. Would that interest you? That's my ABC. I just made that up. Okay. Once you learn more about ABCs, you can make them up on the spot all day for depending on whoever you're talking to. Then at the ABC, if they're interested, we give them an invitation to take a look. So it might be a link. It might be a tour. Of course, for these next couple of weeks, we're going to focus a lot more on links. Now, the link could be to a live or to a recording, to a tour, could be to a one-on-one, but the invitation is the next step. Then after the invitation is the follow-up, right? The Q&A. And after that is the AFTO. We ask for the order. If we get a no, we cover the objection, and then a BAM FAM. The BAM FAM is always book a meeting from a meeting. Always. Don't let people hang up. And when someone says, I'll call you, I'll check back in with you, I'll give them my calendar, let me know, those aren't appointments. And so it's really hard to build your business. It's really hard to fill up your calendar with the I'll call yous. So instead you go, well, I'm actually pretty busy. I got my calendar open right here. When's a good time to connect? Okay, this whole equation, we got to add it all up. So this opener, ABC, and invitation have to be told in a story format. So when you add all these up, this is where you get new students. And a bigger team. But this needs to be told in that story format so people will actually listen to it. Okay, facts tell, stories sell. We need to use stories way more often. You're gonna get way more out of it. So the reason I'm telling you this is we were in EMT and I was listening to these people and they're rushing through everything. They're like, oh no, Michael's watching and we're supposed to do this and we didn't study and oh man, I don't know. We hit it 5 weeks hard and there's still some people going blank after I told them exactly what would be on the quiz at the end. And the most frustrating thing was they would see the people and then they would quickly build for events and then they would just hang up. And I'm like, well, what's this big step in the middle? Tell the story. You've got to tell a story. They just went, oh, hey, how's it going? Oh, have you ever considered getting involved in real estate investing? Okay, well, I help people do that. Come to this meeting. And and if you don't tell a story, and then you go and you build for this event or you make the invitation and you didn't tell a story, then you're going to get a lot of fake yeses. because people have such a demand on their time already. Right? Their family's demanding time. Their Facebook addiction is demanding time. Their TV addiction is demanding time. Their video game addiction is demanding time. And then you say, come to a meeting. And they go, well, that's going to compete with video games. So I'll say yes, so you leave me alone, but I don't mean it. Unless you tell a story. People want to know, why should I come to the meeting? What's going to happen at the meeting? What's going to happen for me? What's in it for me? So telling the story, you could be so sloppy with building for events if you tell the story correctly. You can be so sloppy with the other parts if you get the story down. Now, if you get it all down, then of course you can command millions of dollars a year in this business. But at least telling the story, because seeing the people is easy, and building for an event. Oh, I'll just give you an address. Let me just give you an address. I'll build for this event. I'll send you this link, and we'll just build for it that way. That's not going to cut it. That's not going to give people enough emotional juice to want to show up. So tell the story. And then you can just shoot them a crappy link. Here's the address. I'll see you there. If the story was powerful, it'll all come together. So find people to practice on. Friends, family, spouse, kids. Find people to practice on. Find people to practice on. If you haven't told your story at least 10 times by the next phone call, our next Money Monday, and you didn't make any money, then there's nobody to blame but yourself. We're in the business, we're in an event-driven business. We build from one event to the next event. Now our events are online. So the people that we talk to, no excuses. Get on. We got live webinars, recorded webinars. We got house tours that are going to be online. We got Super Saturdays that are going to be online. Our nationals is going to be online. This is great. No more excuses. So the last thing with telling the story is I want to make sure that the point here is that it's a compelling story. They need to be compelled to take a look. Not just because you want them to, and definitely not because they need to, right? How many fat people need to go to the gym or eat less of the bad foods? They need to, but they don't because they're not compelled to. How many people need to quit smoking cigarettes? They know they need to, but they're not compelled to. How many people know they need to build a business and make more money? But if they're not compelled to, they won't. So it's not about a need. It's about your ability to compel someone to take a different action in life. And that's why you get paid so much money, not to point out needs. You don't get 10,000 bucks to point out where someone is lacking. You get paid 10,000 bucks to create such a compelling story and argument for our business that someone decides to buy. This is the real skill set. It's the same thing when you go talk to a homeowner. You got to compel them to sell to you. You're talking to a multifamily landlord who's wanting to sell. You got to compel him to sell on your terms if he wants his price or she. So the point is, become a more compelling storyteller. You can spend a couple hours on YouTube learning from Toastmasters. You could go to Toastmasters. I don't know for the next 2 weeks if Toastmasters groups are still going to happen. But the point is, facts tell, stories sell. You want to sell? Tell stories. You want to make money? Sell. Well, time for the Pat call. Okay, so this last idea here, and then we will bounce for the day. When analyzing thousands of speeches, these thousands of speeches over thousands of years. So they're going back to the Greek era when people were creating these really compelling speeches in their republics. And what they learned is the compelling stories followed this format. They would alternate between what it is and what it could be. And they would focus on one topic. And then they would go back to what it is and what it could be on a different topic. And then again, back to what it is and what it could be on a different topic. And then they would end on what it could be. It started out with what it is. So what it is for employees in taxes is 30 to 40% of your money is being taken. Confiscated. But what it could be is 8 to 10% in taxes. That's a big deal. And with interest, well, it could be a 6 years on your car, could be 20 years on your student loan, could be 30 years on your mortgage. That's what it is right now for everybody. But what it could be is 18 months with your car, 6 years with your student loan, and 8 years for your mortgage. Saving boatloads in interest. And what it is with your time, it, for most people, is stuck in jobs, rat race. When they're in the office, they're thinking about the beach. When they're at the beach, they're thinking about the office. That's how most people do it. They're not actually fully engaged in their work, and they're not fully engaged on their vacation. They're always thinking about the other thing. How crappy is that? What an awful use of time. Right? It might be stuck with babysitters, or daycare for your kids because of how your time is being spent. That's what it is for a lot of people. But what it could be is more family time. What it could be is an online business. What it could be is being present. That's how time should be spent. Being present, not thinking about what you should be doing when you're in the middle of something else. Time could be spent back on giving to charity because now you have that time. So when you're thinking about making your ads and your own video invitations for people to come take a look, and you're developing, meetups or Eventbrite or eVites or all kinds. But these are the stories that people want to hear. And if you put it in this format, what it could be, cycling through some topics. Okay, I really got to go. Then this is going to work. Follow the format, everybody. This is such an opportunity to force innovation. Whenever there's a crunch on an economy, innovation ramps way up. And this is an exciting time to be involved in real estate, especially with Renatus because of the innovation they're doing and what's going to be launched at National. So get your ticket. We're still going to figure out if we're going to broadcast it live in Denver and do it as a gathering. So stay tuned, join the Facebook groups, watch your texts, stay involved, check your emails. It's now time to stay focused on adding value to others. This is the name of the game. We add value to the panic that some people are experiencing. So let's go add value. Let's make these invitations. Let's send the videos. Let's do 3-way calls. Let's build for events. Let's follow up. We're a part of the solution. So exciting. We'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for being here. Have a wonderful day. Go spread some love and joy. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Good morning, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.